Hi everybody, it's Claire from Handmade at Hudson's, and in a previous video I showed you how to make this, which is a really cute snowman card using the Snowman Season stamp set and the punch. Now I love this layout and I love the snow background, which I showed you how to make a few videos ago. So if you click in the link below, I'll take you to how to make this background. So from this background, I have done a number of cards with the same layout, and I've gone retro on this one. So I've gone with the Perfectly Plaid stamp set and the Merry Moose, which is from a while ago. And then on my blog, I also have a picture of this, which is actually using the designer series paper and the Wonky Donkey, which has retired. So today I thought we would move on to using a different stamp set, seeing as I've spent a lot of time on Snowman Seasons, and we are moving on to using the Perfectly Plaid stamp set. So this is here. So this is a stamp set that's been out for quite a while and is one of my favourite Christmas stamp sets because I love the sentiments. I'm not really sure about some of the trees. I adore this one. But I do love the sentiments in the stamp set. So it's been out for a while, and it also has a matching punch, which has also been really helpful for tags, etc. So this is the matching punch, which goes with this stamp set. So today I am using the sentiments from the Perfectly Plaid to create a card with the same layout. And I'm also going to pull in a different stamp set. So this is the card I'm going to make, and I'm going to move this out of the way, because I thought that the presents were super cute. So this is actually using the Kangaroo and Company stamp set and the Kangaroo dies. Now these are super cute. These are actually in the January to June mini. And as I'm recording this, I don't know whether they've been carried over or not, but I still think it's super cute. So I used this card actually for my Mother's Day card. Sorry, I used a stamp set for my Mother's Day card, and I'm going to make a Christmas card with it using as the sentiments from Perfectly Plaid. So basics are the same as the previous card, snowy background, linked in below to show you how to make it. And let's begin. So to start with, the card pieces you'll need is a bit of snow background or designer series paper, and this one is 7 by 10.5 centimeters. But it completely depends. So the previous ones have been 7.5 centimeters by 10.5. It's up to you how you want to split it. So I have got an inside piece for the inside of the card, and that is 10 by 14. And we were going on my metric measurement again. So this piece of card is 29 centimeters, scored at 14.5. and by 10.5. So this bit's 10.5. And it's my metric, so that when I'm tired like I am today, I can count, which doesn't always work. So we're going to move that to the side a second, and we're going to do our stamping first. So I have taken the May the Season Be Wrapped in Love and Joy and North Pole Delivery from here, and I've put it on a block from a kit and a G block for the smaller sentiment. So I'm going to be stamping this in Misty Moonlight because this is the colour of the card. However, if you want to make it more Christmassy, you could heat emboss it, or you could use a metallic ink. So we don't have any at the moment, but we did have previously. Or I'm just going to stamp it up there. And I'm going to clean that off in a second. You could also use one of our all-purpose inks and create your own metallic ink. That was lucky. So I'm just going to ink up this North Pole Delivery. I'm going to move this out of the way because I am notorious for getting this everywhere. Not quite as bad as Native Navy when you get it on your fingers, but it is quite interesting. And I'm just going to stamp this at the bottom of the card. So I'm just going to check that that is the bottom. You don't want it. And I did actually consider crossing out the north and putting South Pole delivery, seeing as kangaroos are from the southern hemisphere, not the northern hemisphere. But I thought that would be a bit too complicated. Okay, so I'm just going to stick this onto the front of here and stick this inside. So I've just got my Tombow multi-purpose glue, and I'm just going to, I always use too much glue, go around the outside and then across the middle, and I'm just going to make sure that sticks. And it can go any way round that you want it to go. There's no top and bottom. I might need to actually trim down the side because this card's a little bit bigger, obviously, than my piece of paper. And then I'm just going to take the glue again and inside. I don't know if you can hear that crunching. It's the outside cat who whines if you don't feed her. So she's currently crunching on cat food in the extension where I'm currently filming. So there we go. That's our card base done. And now for the fun bit. So as I said, I have been playing with Kangaroo Company. So what I have done is taken the two stamps that I wanted to use, which is the presents and the kangaroo, and added them onto a big block. So that's my E block. And the reason I've added them to that is because I am going to put them on a piece of card and then run them through my mini Stampin' and Emboss machine, so Dinky as I call it, because I have Dinky and then I have Dino the Stamparatus, Stamposaurus, whatever. Okay, so I've got the stamps on my block. I have got a piece of paper which is 7.5 centimeters, so this will go through my mini machine. I have got my memento because I'm going to be colouring in with my blends, and I am going to twist and tap and then just going to stamp down and hold, and I'm not going to take my hand off. I'm going to hold that into position. I'm just going to rub to make sure that all of the image is stamped, and there we go, got a perfect stamp. So next thing I'm going to do is going to do some colouring. So on my original card I used Shady Spruce and Real Red, and you can pop out. So on my second card I'm going to use Magnets and Just Jade. So it doesn't have to be super duper tidy. You don't have to be a colorista. All I'm doing is simply adding a bit of colour. Ooh, that's bright. Do you know, I'd completely forgotten it was that bright. Oh well. So I'm simply colouring around. So this is the dark. And then I'm just going to colour it in. The ribbon, like so. So then we move on to the kangaroo. So my original kangaroo was crumb cake. I am going to do this kangaroo in cinnamon cider, and then I've also pulled out the ivory marker. So I have been using the ivory marker on the ear and the nose. And again, you don't have to be a colourista. We're just adding colour to bits of it. So what I'm going to do is actually just pause it now, and I will come back when it is coloured in. So there we are, it is coloured in Cinnamon Cider. I think that looks quite pretty. Now, I'm not going to do any shading. I think that that is fine for a kangaroo. So I'm going to bring in my mini machine. As I said, this is called Dinky Dinky Doo, which is really rather cute. And I've got my plates. Now, officially, you are supposed to use 1 and 2 twos for dies. However, I have found that I struggle to get it through the machine if I use 1 and 2 twos. So I am using 3 and 2 twos to go through the machine. And I've realised that I haven't got my dies out. So these are the dies. They're super, super cute. So I have got presents there, and I have got my kangaroo here. And then also, because I've got a gap, I can cut out the extra part as well. So there's no magnetic plate for this currently. So I'm going to take some tape. This is just Crafter's Companion tape. And I'm just going to take a bit more of the stickiness off, and I'm just going to stick this down. So the good thing about this is you can maneuver the dies, but also the platform itself is quite steady. Because it has a platform. So it shouldn't cause too much chaos. Hopefully, she says. And then I'm just going to stick that in place so that it doesn't cut any other die that it shouldn't do. And then you just open this up and run it through. So yeah, I have an electronic die cutting machine, not a big one. Ooh, I'm moving everything. I shouldn't be doing it on paper. But I am quite happy with this dinky one. It does everything that I need it to do. And if I'm using large amounts, I will use my electronic die cutting machine. I'm going to move these out of the way actually. They're currently causing chaos. Okay, so I'm just going to move this back up. So there's all my die cuts, and I'm just going to pop them out the bottom. And they are really cute and perfect. Okay, so it's up to you whether you want to type or put a message on here. So there are a few, so I'm going to use this just for you. So love you much, it's your day, thanks a bunch, hello, just a note. Really super cute. So I have got the just for you on a tiny, tiny block, and I am going to ink that up in Misty Moonlight. And then I'm just going to line this up, and I'm going to do it down here so that I can stick those presents on. There we go, super, super cute, and I'll clean that in a second. So I have found there are 2 ways to do this, and it does depend on what you want to do. So if you want the presents to be over, then I would add a little bit of a diamond. So I have just got my strip here, and what I'm going to do is simply add that there at the top, take that off, and then put this down. And then what happens is when you slide it in, you can see just for you, and then also the presents slide in as well. So we've got some in the air presents. Okay, so when you are sticking this down, I'm going to stick this down with dimensionals. So let's pull in this sheet again. We want to avoid this part. So you want to put your dimensionals around, but not so that they are catching your message. And then you can use smaller dimensionals on the sides, or you can get your minis out, but I'm not really got there. And you may be able to hear my doggy being naughty in the extension. She lives up to her name. Her name is Tinker. Not after Tinkerbell the fairy. Her name is Tinker after a Tinker, which is a tench. Though everyone thinks she's named Tinkerbell, which is always fun. But she's currently affectionately known as Tintin. So there we have lots of dimensions on this kangaroo, and then what we're going to do is just to take the dimensional backs off. Oh, she says. Stick that back on. So the art of going wrong. Crazy, crazy. Why does it happen on camera? You don't do it the rest of the rest of the time you craft. Just on camera. Oops. Move those out of the way before I stick those to me and the dog. So you have North Pole delivery, and then we also have my original, which is a bit more muted, but I absolutely adore that. I think it's really, really pretty. So thank you very much for pressing play on the video today. If you've got any questions, please let me know. My email is claire@handmade.hudsons.co.uk, or you can find me on the Tinterweb, Handmade at Hudsons. You can find me on Facebook and Pinterest as Handmade as Hudsons. Can't talk. So yes, thank you very much for pressing play, and I hope to speak to you soon, and I hope that you find this inspiring to pull out your cute critters and to create cards for different occasions. So these are probably my favourite ones that I've made. Thank you. Bye.